Hello, everyone. I'm back to talk a little more about the method to the magic. I know, I told you, I like singing. I like to sing the title of my book, if you haven't caught on yet. But anyway, in my previous video, I had promised to soon follow with a video that was solely dedicated to my experience with the self-publishing platform, right? Now, pay attention to the detail. This is not for everybody. This is not everyone's experience. I don't know what everyone's experience is, but I was asked to share my experience, what I went through. And I said, sure, like, why not? And it might help someone. Yeah. So don't put a fork in this because like I said, this is what I did. This is what Demetra Tate did in the self-publication process of the method to the magic. All right. So anyway, first of all, I found my book. My book was published through the Kindle Publishing platform. On May 7th, I know the exact date because there's a whole timeline in my story. But on May 7th, I received an email that referenced that about publishing, like self-publishing your book, and invited to attend a free training on the process of self-publishing your book. And so I'm self-publishing a book. And I was like, that's interesting. And so it was free. So I said, it's free. I said, I'm going to sign up. So I did. It was like a 2-hour training. And at the basically, at the conclusion of the training, obviously, I mean, what doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. At the end of the day, there's a sales pitch on the end of it. I'm not crazy. I was born at night, but it was not last night, right? So anyway, so what I had done was I said, okay, I can do this. I can do this myself. And there were all these different steps in terms of, you could get a ghostwriter and, all these other things. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I knew ghostwriting was not for me. I learned some interesting things about books that are some of my favorite books, which I'm not going to name in this because I just don't want to name them. But some of my favorite books that I found out that I discovered going through this class that they were ghostwriters. I was like, really? He didn't say that. But I had to make, in that moment I decided that I'm not, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this my way. I'm not getting a ghostwriter because I want to write my own thing. And the reason that I decided not to get a ghostwriter is because I did not want to lose my voice in this process. Like, I did not want to lose my personality. I did not want who I am, why I am, where I am. I did not want for that message across those 3 elements to get lost with someone else's voice. So I didn't do it. So I sat down, me and Microsoft Word. I sat down, I just went to typing. So I typed everything. I wrote my book myself. I typed every word myself. I did the spacing myself, margins, bold, italices, everything. I did that all myself, right? So, and then when it came around to time for the copy editing piece, there was, because I'm going to tell you something, the Kindle publishing platform is a really, especially for me, with this being my first book, I'd never written anything ever. I feel that for a starter, I would actually recommend the Kindle publishing platform because of all the tools that are afforded to you. And they really, if you are a person like me who is self-taught and I'm not afraid to hit the reset button. And if you're a person who is self-taught and who knows how to follow instructions, because the important piece is to make sure that you follow the process so that you don't have to do anything over. And that's what I learned. And I did it. And I just feel like I feel like for this to have been my first book and never done, I feel that it was a great resource for someone who's just starting out. I really, really do. So I typed the book myself, wrote everything. And so when it came time for the editing piece of it, they have, Kindle, they have all of these resources, you can, to tap into the thing. But then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so I chose to use the Microsoft Word. There is a copy editor within the software. So I said, I'm going to use that. So that's what I did. And what I enjoyed, what I appreciated about using the Microsoft Word editor, the copy editor that's embedded in the software, was that it gave me the option to say yes or no while it was going through the process. Because if it caught something that said, well, maybe you should use this, and I was like, no, that's the way I want that to be. I want that to read the way I wrote it, so I would left it. But there were some suggestions about maybe you might want to change this word, or instead of using this word, and I did accept a couple of the suggestions, but for the most part, I was like, no, I'm not doing that, because I had spelled everything right. So, and I knew that I did not want to lose my tone in it. So but it was helpful going through that. And then I thought about if I had sent my book off to someone, some third party to do that, we would have been going back and forth and back and forth. And like I remember I said, this started on May 7th. So then when I finally got time, and then they have so many literally free resources within that platform. Of course, we'll get down to the money part of it at the end. So because it's to their advantage to do that, because they're going to make their money off of your book. You can believe that, right? So what I then did was, I downloaded this application that they had so that you could format it and get your pages right and everything, and did all of that. And then it came time to cover. Guess what? I designed the cover myself for free. Yep, through this app that they had right in the Kindle publishing market. I can do it myself. Yes, there's an option for you to pay someone to do it for you. I was like, no, I can do this. I can cook. I can design a cover. And so I designed my own cover through that platform. Yes, I did design my own cover, everything. So when I say this is a 100% self-published project, it is all of 100%. I did everything myself. And so when I finished that, and I finished everything, got the formatting, they allow you to proof it, everything. If you are a self-sufficient individual, you can do it. And I did everything. And then and that happened. I'm telling you, I said I started this process. Now, my book is not long. My book is intentionally there's 35 pages, but it is a short and easy read intentionally, because I didn't want to lose. I wanted people to stay engaged and keep going and not take, I wanted them to sit down and read this book and learn the lessons in it, right? So that was on May 7th. I uploaded the final copy, the approved copy of my book, and said, yes, this is okay, June 12th. June 12th, 2020. So started on May 7th, 2020. I was done by June 12th of 2020. That was it. And then the paperback. So now, the process for getting your paperback done, once again, doesn't cost you a thing. So the process of getting the paperback done, the official public, like if you go onto the Amazon website and you Google the Method to the Magic, you will see the official publication date as June 13th, 2020, because that was the following date, which is when I did the production, when I did the paperback, and that was it. And that's the story. That's literally the story. So from May 7th to June 13th, I had a published book in the Kindle marketplace. Now, the way the payment process works, I'm going to tell y'all, because, if I'm going to tell you the process, I'm going to tell you all the process. The way the payment process works is that you earn a royalty. That's the word. off of the sale of your book, because they're going to make their money, right? So so Kindle, so for each Kindle version, for each ebook version of it, I earn a 70% royalty off the sale of the book. And then for the paperback, the royalties drops to 60%, right? So I earn a 70% royalty for each for each Kindle version of my Kindle edition of my book that is sold, and I earn a 60% royalty for each paperback edition that's sold. So that's the one thing. But hey, but it did not. I didn't. The only thing it cost me was time in writing my book. That's the only thing it cost me was time, and just some paper and ink because when I was editing it, using the copy, when I edited it myself and proofed it myself, this is probably the one plug that I will publicly give my former boss. I probably never give him another one, but I'm gonna give him this one because he used to always he would print like paper. You have to, anytime you would give him something like getting ready for board meetings and things like that, you had to give him a paper copy. And then he would give it back to you. You felt like you were in school, like getting your stuff marked up by the English teacher. But that was the process. So I learned. So that's one thing that I can say that I will give him credit for, in terms that he taught me. I used to get really pissed off when he would do it, but I learned a lesson from it, because that's really the process that I went through. And it's the process I do for anything. I will print a hard copy of anything that I do, and I don't edit my things on the screen. I print a hard copy and I mark it up, and then I'll make my edits, and then I will go back and print another copy. And that's what I do. And you see things in a different way whenever you're looking at a printed version of something, as opposed to on the screen. And that's what I did. And that was my process. And it was incredibly rewarding. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. Will I go through that process eventually? Yeah. I've been told not to be a one-hit wonder. So yeah, I intend to write another book, like, possibly. But and will I go through the Kindle publishing platform again? I'm not sure. The jury's still out. I have been told by other people who have publishing companies and things like that that they're not gonna let me do that again. But hey, I loved it. I loved it. I have nothing bad to say about that Kindle publishing platform at all, especially because they owe me some money. But but that's the thing. So I hope that this helps for whoever is interested in self-publishing a project. And like I said, if you want, there are resources out there that will help you get your stuff edited and things like that. I just chose to not go that route. All right. So I hope that this helps. So here's the video that I promised. And I don't know what my next video is going to be about, but I promise to stay in touch with y'all, because y'all everybody likes my personality and likes seeing me on video. And that's kind of fun, right? All right, so I will talk to you guys soon. Take care of you. Keep your vibrations high.